Start with a hole out on 9. Just
Yeah.
the shot.
127. Tried to land at 125. Came off weird off the face. It almost came off knuckly, and I know it wasn't, but it just with a breath of wind behind you, it just looked like it was diving out of the air. But when it landed, it looked great, and always a nice sigh of relief when you see it go in.
The ball striking stats are good. You've only got 1 bogey this week. How do you feel about your swing and where you're at?
Yeah, I feel good. Today the body wasn't feeling as good, so I kind of stuck to not hitting like 100% shots. And honestly, I think the way the numbers worked out, it was in my favor. Like I didn't have to try and back of the stance trap a 7-iron, just kind of swing smooth. And that's my game. That's what I've been working on, to be able to hit those kind of smooth cuts. And it's nice to see those over the first 2 days.
How are you handling the off-course stuff, hydrating, stretching, kind of shutting things down when you're not playing?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, trying to hop underneath tents, but also not get too cool. Just keeping the body as level as it can be, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard, but it doesn't just stop out there. It continues after today, continues into the night, into the mornings. And but it's a lot of hydration packets. Make sure you eat, and just try and stay in that shade when you can.
18 new greens. You have a new caddy. How do you balance who's reading the greens, when you bring them in, when you say, I've got it?
Yeah, I'm a veteran at this now.
Okay.
No, look, Mark came out last week into Vegas, and we got a lot of the little small details on figuring out, hey, do we do this? How do we say this? It's as simple as, like, who's going to fill up the water bottle? Like, things that people don't think about that just add up over time, that you say, hey, it's just energy put out on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday if it was going to start fresh like that. So we had it down. We knew what we were going to do, and we've been working really well. He's a very detail-oriented guy. I am as well, and it's nice to have that, by my side.
How would you describe you felt about your game leaving, I guess, Northern Ireland, and then what have you done the last 2 weeks to maybe turn things around?
It wasn't good. Look, you get very exposed out there in Europe, and not just in Europe, but like just over the past 2 months, like the game, you can look at my stats all you want. Like, it comes down to being able to hit my iron shots how I want. And I hate missing them 30 feet left. I want to be able to take a 7-iron, choke down on it, and hit a nice spinny cut 155 yards, right, or 160 yards. So it wasn't good. I went back to the drawing board, had to figure it out, had to really look at it from another perspective and say, okay, I look at my swing, it looks like this. How do I just get down to the nitty-gritty and saying, maybe I need to be in this position, maybe I need to look at some setup stuff, and you just keep trial and error stuff. And, we found some key points compared to my older swings when I was, coming out here as a pro. It's hard not to try and mimic it exactly, but there's pieces of my swing that I've got to make sure I have.
It looked like
go ahead, Sean.
Me? Okay. It looked like out there you were rehearsing a little bit, just kind of from waist high going up. Yeah. Is there a feel you're going for in the backswing?
It started with driver, and it always bleeds in irons. For me, I take it out, and my club head's always, at this kind of waist high position. Club head tends to get too far outside. So when I started this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, my club head with driver was so far outside, I could not time it up to where I had to get it down, and they were just block rights. So it's trying to sync it up a little bit better and then get it back on the path, which, it ends up being a very feel thing. And it's just trying to hey, how do I feel that in the practice swing to when I go step into my shot, I just swing it, and just a little tendencies here and there get me to where I need to be.
You've talked about the iron play and how that kind of is the key for the rest of your game. How much are you seeing that little cut that you're kind of known for?
Yeah, I started seeing it the last couple of days at home. I was putting a lot of work in over the 2 weeks I had off, and but sometimes you just keep grinding. That's trial and error, and I have so much self-belief that it's hard because, you believe, you can do it, and at a certain point you have to go and play golf. But for me to go out and be myself, it was one thing that I had to go find, and I saw it the last couple days at home. You never know how it's going to translate when you come out to a tournament. Started seeing it, and it's been really, really nice, because now it's now I just need the reps in tournaments to say, okay, I can aim left and just swing down that line and know it's not going left. And it's going to take a little bit of time, but it's nice to see a couple rounds like this, and hopefully we continue that into the next 2 days.
So would you say today just mostly swinging less than 100%, kind of more controlled shots?
Yeah, just controlled, those controlled cuts. I think for a long time, you just swing so hard because, one, I'm not being able to hit those cuts, and two, that's just not my game, and it's hard because it's kind of translated into my game where I've been swinging harder and harder, not on purpose, but just because that's the shot that's felt comfortable and I know where it's going to go. But when we start building those cuts, I don't have to hit it, back a stance, hands forward, lean the shaft. It's more of just smooth cut, see it spin, left to right.
That self-belief you just talked about, how did that help maybe kind of turn things around fairly quickly from where you were overseas to now?
Well, I mean, even when I was overseas and not playing well, like that self-belief that I can go out and win, it's always there. It's just hard when you don't know in your swing what's happening, right? And then that bleeds into everything else, and you start practicing other things, and it's tough. But like the self-belief when I tee it up is always there. It's just a hard game. Every day you don't know what to expect. You don't know what you're going to get. But when you're able to kind of see some shots that you say, okay, I know what I can do with this, it then bleeds in a good way.
And then Kurt, just playing really well lately. I don't know how much you've played or practiced with him at home or even on the road, but what have you seen different in his game in the last few weeks?
I mean, honestly, he's been on this other schedule. I've been playing a lot of signature events. He hasn't. I think I've only seen him at home once this year, and I'm so happy for him. I think he's just figured out how to hit his irons cleaner. I mean, obviously he's got to be putting well, but same thing. It's just, I think for a lot of us, when you're able to clean up a lot of your irons and say, man, I could just aim at the left center of the green, hit it there, or right center of the green, hit it there, it just frees up a lot of people's games, and I don't think people realize that as much. And it's just that's how I kind of live, especially with my game.
Did you say your body wasn't quite feeling 100%? Is that just
felt a little,
end of the season?
Yeah, it just felt a little.
Stuff?
No, it wasn't end of the season. Just felt a little stiffer this morning. I mean, yesterday felt great. This morning after my warm-ups, just kind of felt a little stiffer, and just work with what you got.
Yeah.
And it was nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.